Nothing happens in the underground. That is the first deception. Here, everything moves slowly, so slowly that it feels inevitable. Stone walls press cold into the air, but the air itself is heavy, sweet with oil, breath, smoke, and honey. Torches do not illuminate the chamber. They carve darkness into narrow bands, allowing only what must be seen to exist. At the center stands a woman, alone, no jewelry, no name, stripped of whatever once made her human in the eyes of others. Oil glistens on her shoulders and arms. It was rubbed into her skin carefully, deliberately. Not care, preparation. The shine is meant for watching. She hears footsteps behind the door. The door does not open. That is the first rule. Waiting is a tool. She is left standing long enough to begin wishing the door would open, no matter what waits behind it. Silence here is never empty. It is crowded with eyes. Guards remain in shadow, but their presence is exact. They know where she looks. They know when her eyelids lower. They know how fast her breath moves through her chest. Soon, a priest will enter. He will not speak as a man. He will speak as law. Before the first word is spoken, she understands this is not questioning. This is ritual. Truth is not produced with language here. It is drawn from the body. Above, the name of the pharaoh hangs over the Nile like the sun, visible, untouchable. In the city, they call this peace. In the palace, stability. Down here, it is called supply. She did not come willingly. She was brought at dusk, when courtyards emptied and temple choirs softened their breath. Her eyes were bound with resin-soaked cloth so that the fabric clung to her skin. Every attempt to tear it away would leave marks. Marks teach obedience. Down here, divine order is not gentle. It is sticky, measured, counted, whispered. No one calls it torture. They call it record. They call it purification. And the woman who was once one among many now stands as an object, meant to be used, then returned. The worst part is not pain. It is not knowing what comes next. Every minute fills with imagining, and imagination bites deeper than teeth. The priest steps closer, holding a bowl. Not gold, just clay. Sacred things often wear the cheapest faces. That way, they can be repeated. The mixture smells of honey and herbs. Beneath it, something metallic waits. She is ordered to lower her head. She hesitates. Only a moment she can afford only because she does not yet know its price. The priest lifts her chin with gentle fingers. Gentleness here is corruption. Gentleness means gratitude is expected. Gentleness means fear should feel like shame. The mixture is pressed into her wrists and collarbones, not to wound, to mark, to attract. Along the walls, clay vessels wait. Not all are open. Some hum softly from within. That sound is worse than screaming. The priest leans close and whispers a sentence meant for everyone. Let what is inside be seen. And she understands. Here, the body is evidence, even when it has committed nothing. The lid of one vessel shifts. Her throat tightens. Fear folds into shame because she is afraid under watching eyes. Here, even trembling becomes testimony. This is not chaos. This is procedure. And it has only begun. She is placed on stone. The surface is carved with shallow grooves, not decoration, but design. Channels meant for cleaning. In the underground, they plan ahead. The first contact is not painful. It is small, cold, precise. Her body hesitates, unsure whether it must respond. That hesitation is the cruelty. A second contact follows, then another. The sweet mixture on her skin has become an invitation. Invitations are never refused here. The priest watches without interest, with the attention of an accountant measuring efficiency. This is not about suffering alone. It is about the moment resistance becomes useless, because resistance is visible, and visibility is the trap. In these chambers, nothing rushes. Even cruelty follows protocol. Her ankles are bound carefully, tight enough for the skin to pulse, loose enough for blood to flow. Precision is mercy, they say. Sometimes the priest turns toward the scribe. The scribe sits where the light is weak but sufficient for hieroglyphs. He does not look up. Writing is participation disguised as labor. Each word on papyrus becomes another stone sealing silence. She listens to her breathing change. She tries to slow it. Fast breath signals weakness, and weakness is desired. Her body disobeys. It accelerates, slows, accelerates again. Not because she chooses, because the body no longer belongs to her. The worst moment does not arrive with sting or puncture. It arrives quietly, when something inside loosens, almost unnoticed. When she realizes she is no longer begging for an end. She is begging for a rule, for a boundary, for a word that says now. There is no now here, only extension. And in extension, obedience is born wearing the mask of reason. When she is finally lifted from the stone, it is not release, it is transfer. The doors open. A new smell arrives: salt, bitter herbs, ointment, maintenance. The healer does not arrive as savior. He arrives as repair. His hands are clean. His eyes are empty. He works carefully so no marks remain. Visible. Visible marks belong to light. Light turns into accusation. The underground cannot afford accusation. Here, things are functions. She lies on a bed too hard for sleep. Around her, other bodies breathe. Not all regularly. Every sound promises repetition. The priest visits even here, not to use her, to assess her. He lifts her chin like inspecting goods and speaks a sentence that wounds deeper than anything before. She will last. It says everything. Above, fields change without being called change. Flowers replace grain. Storerooms fill with resin, oil, herbs, innocent things, ritual necessities. That is how the system survives. She does not analyze it. She lives it. Stone table, infirmary, narrow cell, waiting. Waiting teaches the body to read footsteps, to interpret silence. To survive would mean adapting. To adapt would mean becoming part of what destroys her. And so her mind splits. One part remains in the body that shakes and stays silent. The other stands aside and watches. But even that part is not free. Someone watches it too. One night, something small happens. A guard slows her steps, just enough. Not enough for escape. Enough to see. A side passage, an alcove, a carved symbol, falcon and serpent, a mark belonging to another temple, another authority. The underground is not a single chamber. It is a network, a labyrinth. Here, guilt is distributed. Each person carries only a door, a bowl, a signal. That is why no one feels responsible for stopping it. She understands then, her greatest enemy is not the priest, not the guards, not even the command. It is the logic that makes this invisible. If it has a ritual name, it is not a crime. If it is recorded, it is order. If it is divine, it cannot be wrong. And inside that realization, a dangerous idea forms. The only way to survive is to remain human while being turned into an object. Resistance cannot be loud. Loudness feeds the system. Loudness becomes hysteria, guilt. So she chooses another weapon: memory. She remembers how many times the lids open, how long the sound lasts, Which guard wears a red stone ring? Which has a scar on his chin? She remembers how the priest speaks, not like prayer, but command. She memorizes the grooves in stone, the air's dampness, the smoke's path. Memory builds a map, not necessarily for escape, for proof, for a future moment when someone might open a wall and understand. She knows the system can erase traces, collapse corridors, burn scrolls, force scribes to write the opposite of truth. Still, she remembers, because if they take her body, they cannot take the last thing that remains, the knowledge that she is a witness to her own life. One day, the underground changes, not in structure, in mood. Footsteps hurry, whispers spread like smoke. A new command has descended from above. She is led again, but not to the familiar stone. The doors open into a space smelling of fresh-cut limestone. A new hall, a new phase. The priest stands near a wall still dusted with debris, as if cruelty itself is being renovated. She recognizes the protocol instantly. This test is different. How long can a human be held in uncertainty without fully breaking? How long can one live knowing the door may open at any moment? Her hands are raised and fixed to the cold wall, not high enough to collapse, not low enough to rest. In the underground, sleep is luxury. Sleep is escape. Escape is forbidden. The priest speaks a sentence shaped like blessing, functioning as lock. She will wait. Then he leaves. The torches remain, light enough to see, not enough to be certain. She stands alone, not truly alone. There is always an ear, always an eye, always the system. She is left with the only thing they have not taken yet, a question. Not who does this, she knows that, but how long it will last, and whether the doors might ever open, not to use her, but because someone above finally fears what exists below. Silence stretches, time thickens, and in that thickness, one certainty remains. In the underground, nothing ends, because a ritual ends. Things end only when a wall is sealed, and even then, the question lingers in the air, like smoke that refuses to dissolve. How long can this exist unseen?